connection from our home temple, from Benin. It's always just warms my heart to see the people and the places and having that tie back home. So I greet all of you and your ancestors with the utmost respect and love for being here today at the Heal the Healer workshop. We have some people who've been here before and a new face, Yamana. It's good to have you here. And so everybody's doing a great job with their microphones being on mute. This is very interactive. So just know that there will be portions where you'll need to interact, maybe come off mute or be in the chat. And be sure to have a notebook because we give a lot of really great information, and we also ask for that information back, especially if you come, Tayana and Tiffany, you know that we ask you, what are the definitions for things? What was the homework? How are you doing? We're big on accountability and putting things into practice. Okay, so before we begin the content portion, we always start by giving reverence and honor to everything that brought us here. So I begin by giving honor and reverence to our home temples in Benin, the temples that have carried and protected the ancestral knowledge throughout all these generations. And that we have a link and a tie to. That's our foundation, where we get our knowledge and our power and our protection. I give reverence and honor to our great matriarch, Naye Puchita Animaso II, who is the International Director of Nasia Fa Spiritual Institute, as well as my own spiritual mother, Mianu Ananasi, who is the Director of the U.S. Nasia Fa Spiritual Institute. I am so grateful and honored for her guidance and her spiritual protection in my life. I give honor and reverence to my own ancestors and the energies that walk with me to be able to be here today with you all. And so we will begin the workshop with breath work, and then we will move into ancestral veneration with Abla, and we will have Mianu come in and give us the guidance and wisdom that she gives at the end of the workshop. So to begin, I am a Kwavi J, and I am a full-time spiritual adept here at the temple in San Diego. And I have been on my spiritual journey for some years now, and I am grateful that I was able to go to Benin and connect back and initiate and take the hand of Fa to be able to be working in my purpose right now as a teacher. So I will be teaching some techniques that I learned in breath work and connecting that with the traditional elements. That is the root of why that works. Okay. And since we have some people who have been here before, I will be calling on you to help bring in that knowledge, right? The best way to know how much you've learned is by teaching. So I'll be asking Tayana and Tiffany some questions to help Yamana get the knowledge that she needs. Okay. So to begin, of course, we are spiritual beings, right? And we also have a physical body. So there's two aspects of us, as in most of nature. There's always duality in two parts. And so in our bodies, the thing that connects our immaterial. Oh, Yamana, you were here last week? I'm sorry, I don't have a picture or a face to be able to see. So apologies then.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yes. Okay. So I'm having difficulty. Okay, there we go.
Okay, hi.
How you doing?
I'm
I,
good, I'm good.
hey, Ashley. Yeah, I was absent for 2 weeks straight, but I'm back.
Okay, cool. So then we don't have to go through the whole spiel then. But
Yeah.
Tell me, what do you remember about the nervous system?
Breathing, the different types of breathe through the
Hmm.
nostrils. That was
Hmm.
my favorite one.
Yes.
Um, that's all that I can retain.
Okay.
Um, Giving thanks to our ancestors.
Hmm.
Um, that'll be it. That's all I can remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, of course, of course. Okay. So, to go back and review,
Okay.
Tayana or Tiffany, can you tell us the two parts of the nervous system?
I can't do it. The parasympathetic and the
Hmm.
synthetic, I'm probably saying it wrong, but yeah,
Yeah, no, you almost got it. So the sympathetic and the
yeah.
parasympathetic. And Tiffany, what is the purpose of the sympathetic?
The sympathetic is responsible for your like fight or flight
Hmm.
responses. Is
Hmm.
you know, and then the parasympathetic is responsible for calming you down. It's like kind of the antidote for the sympathetic.
Exactly, exactly. So that is the beautiful part about nature is it always has ways to bring itself back into balance and harmony. And so that is what, in a nutshell, those two parts of our nervous system do. We have an activating side, and then we have the calming side. So since everybody has been here before, what have you noticed? Have you noticed yourself more have when you are getting too activated?
For me, yes.
Mhm.
For me, yes. Like my anxiety be very overwhelmed.
Mhm.
So but I noticed that when I pick it up as of, okay, Mona, you receiving so much at one time. I just go into that mode of just being calm, that I'm
Mm.
able to listen and just relax my mental and my body, and then I'm able to just, you know, get by with it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Having awareness of when things are happening gives us the ability to take charge and make changes. So that's good. Tayana, what about you?
Everything she said, I'm still in the aware phase. It's like she said, like it's so much be going on. So now it's like, okay, just relax. You got this came at you. It's a whole lot. So
Mm.
yeah. And
But not
then I
slow
see myself, yeah, like the homework you gave me, I see
down.
myself like when there's something happen, I'm like, okay, let me breathe.
Mhm.
And I'm getting in the practice of doing that. Cause before, like I told you, I would just like, hold my breath or just be thinking about whatever going on at that time.
Right, right. Okay, Tiffany, do you want to share?
Sure. I can say that I have definitely been practicing utilizing the breath work as like my first choice for like self-regulating. Because you made it like a really great point the other day how like music can help, like going on walks can help, but like at the end of the day, you always have your breath. So in my mind, like I'm out in the Midwest, winter's gonna be coming soon, and I won't be taking any walks outside. So and that's what like I really struggled with last year, not having the same access to nature like when I was in San Diego. So I've been really utilizing the breath work, and I noticed it's getting like a lot easier for me to like bring myself back. And I
Mm.
might feel something creeping up, and I'm just like, what is that? What's going on there? And then I'll start doing one of the deep breathing exercises that
Mhm.
you were teaching us, and like almost immediately I'm like, okay, we're good. I'm back. So
Yeah.
it's definitely the more that you practice it,
Mhm.
the more benefit you see from it. But it's exciting to see um how much strength you have in doing just that, just breathing. That's not
Yeah,
something we do often.
that is so encouraging to hear. That makes me so happy to hear that all of you guys are really seeing some progress and starting to um, do the work to be able to regulate yourselves and use the tools that you're learning. And so, to go a little bit deeper into that, something that I want you to do each day at the end of the day is I want you to physically write down. Um, if you can't physically write it down, but really I recommend physically writing it down, get off the devices, but take note of the times that your sympathetic system was activated when you were feeling any of those emotions. And then I also want you to write down what you did to soothe yourself. And I don't want you to like make any excuses or do anything like, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. But like, just what did you do? Because you're always doing something to bring yourself in alignment. But I want you to do that each day. To the first thing was write down what was activating you, the situations that you were triggered in, what was your response to that. And then the third part is moving into the future actions of what you want to do to be able to bring yourself into alignment. And doing this at the end of each day will help you to ground down and remember what you did and also like where you're going, right? Okay. And then the second thing that I want you guys to be doing, ideally doing this twice a day, but for sure in the mornings when you wake up, I want you to go in the mirror and tell yourself 5 things that you've accomplished. 5 things that you've done that made yourself proud. It can be, recent, or it could be across your life, but starting your day with that, you seeing yourself and hearing yourself tell yourself of your accomplishments so that you are able to go through your day remembering how powerful you are. Okay. So 5 things that you have accomplished, and then also 5 acts of kindness or love that have come from outside of you. Okay, again, this can be recent or it can be in general, but 5 times where, a family member or a stranger or even spirit has done something to bless you. Okay, to get you in that mode of gratitude and looking for ways and the signs that you are loved and protected. Okay. So can somebody give me a recap of the assignments that I gave you guys?
So the one you just mentioned, 5 ways like that you was blessed. It could be spiritually or like someone, an actual person doing something for you. Um the other one, when we wake up in the morning, in the mirror, look in the mirror and state like 5 things that we accomplished. It could be, from the previous day or just in the past. I definitely like that one.
Yeah,
Also,
so with that, so the 5 and 5, I want you to do both of those in the mirror in the
oh,
morning.
okay. Okay.
For
Well,
sure.
sorry about that.
But also, if you can stretch and before you go to bed, doing that as well. Okay. Having that repetition. So doing it in the morning and at night if you can.
And both in the mirror, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. You're making it tangible and you're seeing it, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
All right.
And then with the other assignments, you want us to like, okay, if we get triggered, the right what activate that trigger or emotions, and what did you do, to calm yourself, or just what you did, and if you didn't like the outcome of what you did, then what would you like to do better the next time.
Mhm.
And I was just writing down the purpose of this is to, it would ground me because I definitely need that for me. And he said do it twice a day. It's idle to do it twice a day.
No, that was for the first assignment that you had said with the 5 accomplishments and the 5 acts of kindness.
Oh,
Kindness.
okay.
That's twice a day. For the reflection, you're going to do that at nighttime. So you're reflecting on the day that you had and just walking through your day and what happened if you were triggered. I want you to write down what the situation was and then also how your body responded. So the
Okay.
thoughts that you had or the physical sensations that you experienced as a result of that situation.
Okay.
And then that third portion was for in the future, right? Because we always know things are going to keep popping up. So like you had said, either what you want to do in the future that can be more helpful, or if what you did was perfect and you loved it, then start writing about what you liked about it, how it helped you. So you can keep ingraining that into your new self.
Okay. It makes sense. Sorry.
No, you're okay, because I know that you're writing it down, so it takes a little minute
Yeah.
to do that. Mona or Tiffany, do you have any questions on that?
Yes, I have a question. Okay, so I have 3 topics of what we just spoke about, and it's supposed to
Mhm.
be 4 in total, correct?
No. So well,
I
tell me
can tell
what you
you
mean.
what I have.
Yeah.
So the first one I have is what triggers you, what's going to be your response to when you get triggered, and your physical action that to resolve whatever it is that trigger you. Then I have the 5 things you accomplish each morning, to do that in the mirror before going to bed. And I have the 5 acts of kindness that comes from outside of you. And I feel like I'm missing one more.
Um, kind of. So the reflections, the 5 things, the 5 accomplishments and the 5 acts of kindness, that's the one that you're going to do twice a day. So that I think that's the
Oh,
other part that you were missing.
no, I have
So,
that one, but I feel
okay.
like there was something else that you guys spoke about that I'm missing.
So before that, we were going over the parts of the nervous system.
I got that. Uh-huh.
Okay. And so then I moved into the assignments of what I want you guys to do each week. And I mean, each day this week. And it's going to be to have a reflection at the end of the day where you're
Okay.
going through the day. And that's where you're recounting like the times that you were triggered
Okay.
and then what your response to that was. And then in the future, what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay,
think
so
you
that
missing just the response. I don't think I heard you recall, like, how would you respond? Maybe I was wrong. I think that was the only part that you was missing on your part.
Okay. Because I think I had that at the beginning with the trigger.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. But you
okay.
mentioned something but that I didn't get. Do you mind going over what you said?
For
No,
the assignment,
who was that? Tiana.
Me?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Uh, so I can go because I kind of,
Just
I guess,
piggyback. Just piggyback.
okay. So basically, like from the first assignment, what she was saying was, like each day write down the like your triggers, what triggers you, and once you done that, what was your response to that? And then what was your response from that? Whether if your response was well, what did you like about that? And then also if it wasn't, for future reference, what could you do about it? Um, and you said do this at night, right? Do
Yeah, at
this
the end of
each
the
night.
day.
Yeah, each night. So is this basically a reflection of what your day entails? And then in the morning time, and then if you can too at night, right?
Mhm.
This one, you will go in the mirror and state 5 things that you accomplish. Um, and that could be, like I was saying, it could be the day before, or, if you ain't got nothing that you can't think of, things that you accomplished in the past. And then the other 5 things is like what good things that had occurred, whether it come from somebody or spirit, stuff like that.
That's what it
Uh,
was. That's what I was missing.
really
Yeah,
good.
5 things that say that one more time. I'm sorry.
No, you good. You good. You good. So 5 things that basically 5 good things that happen to you. It could come from like spirit or somebody else or yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, it was
Mm.
that.
We
Thank you
got
so
it.
much.
I love
No
this.
problem.
I love this. This is a perfect example of like temple life and traditions
Hmm.
where you have each person teaching and getting and learning from each other. So good. Good. Tiffany, are you all good to go with trying these assignments this week?
Yes, I am. Got them all written down.
Perfect. All right, so then let's move into the breathing and the affirmations for this week. Okay, so the affirmations are on the inhale, I have all that I need. And on the exhale, I release all limitations. So when you guys are ready to start breathing, just give me a thumbs up. All right, I see 2 thumbs up, 3 thumbs up. All right. So remember, these are going to be belly breaths, and you can just breathe at your own rate. But the inhale is we're going to be saying, I have all that I need. And the exhale, I release all limitations. All right, let's begin. I have all that I need. I release all limitations. I have all that I need. I release all limitations. I have all that I need. I release all limitations. I have all that I need. I release all limitations. I have all that I need. I release all limitations. I have all that I need. I release all limitations. I have all that I need. I release all limitations. I have all that I need. I release all limitations. I have all that I need. I release all limitations. I have all that I need. I release all limitations. I have all that I need. I release all limitations. Last breath. I have all that I need. I release all limitations. Return to your regular breathing. Really bring your awareness to how you're feeling, your state of calm, so that throughout the week, when things get hectic, you can tap back into this energy. You can remember that you have the power to bring yourself to this space and that you can receive the information that you need to be able to get through the situation. Okay. How's everybody feeling?
At ease.
Yeah. Good. Good. Okay. So does everybody have their journal that they're going to be writing in, and they have everything to be able to start doing their practice?
Yes. Well,
Yes.
Okay. And do you feel like it's going to be feasible to do? Like, will you be able to have the time to be able to spend in the mirror saying your affirmations and doing these reflections?
Yes.
I know for me, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Good. Good. Because this is also kind of a foreshadow for the homework that we received before, of just anticipating possible hurdles and then being able to work around those. Okay. So now it is time for the next session with my big sister Abla. And she will be going over ancestral veneration. All right. I give the floor to Abla.
Thank you, Kwavi. Thank you very much. And welcome back, ladies. It's good to see everyone. Okay, well, this is again ancestral veneration, and I know many of you have been here before. So we want to first start with again honoring my ancestors. I give my ancestors the greatest honor and respect, and also give honor to all of the energies that come with me in this life. I also want to start and give respect and honor and appreciation to Priestess Hanera. She is my teacher and my mentor and my spiritual mother. And so I give honor to her because the teachings that I give you are from her. Right, from traditions. And also, we give honor to our temple, Nazia Fa, here in the US and in Benin, led by Mino Naye Pujitao and Imaso II, who is our matriarch. And so we're thankful for all of the knowledge and care that she brings to our organizations and our community. So we last time talked about ancestral veneration, and we went over some of the stigmas that were associated with the practice. We further understood that at the baseline of those stigmas were fear and generational trauma. Caused by slavery and the hardships and oppression that we go through even to today, right? And so we talked a little bit about that and how separation from our traditions caused us to have a set of trauma, right? And then we further understood that how to address our generational trauma, how to reconnect to our traditions, and how to heal ourselves and our bloodlines is through ancestral veneration. Okay. Um, so I think you all had a little bit of homework from last course. And I wanted to just check to see where you guys are and what you remembered. So can anybody tell me First, from what you remember, what is the definition of ancestral veneration? Tayana, Tiffany, Mona.
Or I was trying to look for like the exact definition of it, but I was just gonna give my own little words. Like, is this basically honoring our ancestors? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, honoring your ancestors. Who would you consider your ancestors?
Um, well, for me, the from learning from you and stuff right now, for this is all new for me, my exact bloodline. Yeah, for right now, because I know I was saying I would look like at the other divinities and stuff, but I learned that you gotta first start with your bloodline and know who you are or whatever. So
Right, that's very important. As we start our spiritual journeys, a lot of us, all of us, right? We're ignited, or we're started, or we're inspired, and pushed and called by our ancestors, right? There's something inside of you that draws you to traditions, that draws you to our culture, and that something inside of you is the pushing and the calling and the prodding of your ancestors guiding you along your path. And so for us, this is where we start. We start with our ancestors, because within this spiritual journey, this is a journey a journey to go within, right? A journey to self-discovery. And so it's very important to start with your base makeup, your makeup, right? Your bloodline. Um, so yes, ancestral veneration is honoring your ancestors. It is the formal definition I'll give to you again. And again, you're going to want to write this down, because you're going to want to keep track of what ancestral veneration is. There's so much in the media. There's so much in pop culture. There's so much on Instagram, right? There's so much out there that you could lose focus. So we want to keep focused on what the true definition of ancestral veneration is. Okay? So write this down. So ancestral veneration means to exalt, to hold in high esteem, to revere, and to respect our family members who have passed on to the other side.
Can you say that one more time?
Mm-hmm. It is to exalt, to hold in high esteem, to respect, and to revere our family members who have passed on to the other side.
Thank you.
Okay, so those are your ancestors, your bloodline relatives, your family members who have transitioned, who have passed on to the other side. Okay, and if you think about your bloodline, that would include those who have recently transitioned all the way back to the beginning of existence. And this is the line, the pathway, the highway, the connection, the wire that connects us to the spirit world. Okay, this is our connection. And in traditions, nothing can come from the spirit world to you without accessing the door, the opening, the access point, which is your ancestors, which is your bloodline. Okay. Okay, so we know what ancestral veneration is. Um, let's identify some ways that you felt comfortable honoring and venerating your ancestors. So I gave you a couple of different ways to venerate your ancestors. Have you started doing that, and which ways you feel comfortable?
I know for me, my homework from you was the like after I got done meditating, call on their names and do a prayer. So I've been doing that a lot. Um, and then before I would just call on their names, like I had I got one, my great grandma, her birthday coming up this month. So I usually when they birthdays and stuff, I'll just do like stuff I remember they used to like to do. So them just some ways that I like have interactions or call on them.
Yes, yes, that's okay. So calling on them is something that you're drawn to. You feel like it's consistent, and so I would continue with that. In calling on your family members' names, have you seen or observed any changes or um, new occurrences? How has that gone for you?
Yes, yes, I definitely like dreams. I used to never really dream and stuff. So I be dreaming stuff, even though they be weird, but I learned that, like I said, pray to them and ask them what those dreams be. And then like I noticed like the scent, like I smell, it may sound crazy, like I smell like my grandmother. So it's a lot of little stuff like that, you know.
Yes. Okay. Got it. Got it. That's good. That's good progress. Good on doing the homework as well. How about you, Tiffany? Which ways have you been drawn to?
Uh, I've been doing the homework and I have been talking about them a lot more. And this is probably jumping the gun because you haven't mentioned it yet, but I started my family tree. So I'm super
Yay.
excited about. Yeah.
Good, good. So in starting your family tree, is that how you learned the stories or how are you learning the stories?
Some of them, and it's kind of funny because like my grandmother has 10 kids and they all have different versions of stories. So I've just been including everyone in group text like, hey, like I need dates and times for this, or I'm gonna have to ask the boys for help. And then they're like, oh no, we got you. And then I'll talk to the boys and I'm like, hey, I need your help with this. So it's been like, drumming up conversation with a lot of people. So it's pretty cool. I'm excited. There's been a few stories that I've learned and some things that have kind of just like confirmed. Um, so yeah, it's been pretty cool. But it was exciting seeing um how many generations uh I mean obviously they're not all of them, but I always thought, especially like if you're a part of the diaspora, it's unlikely that you know past your great grandparents. So to
Hmm.
see other relatives, beyond that point, I'm like, kind of stoked about it. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
pretty
it makes
cool.
you want to dig more, right? To find how far you can actually go back. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah. My
mentioned,
my
go ahead.
sorry. My mom's family is gonna be a challenge because they're not from the US. So I don't know how to obtain that information except for word of mouth. So that one's gonna be more tricky, but like I'm really excited to do that part because I think the family needs it too. So
Right. Hey, you might have to get to a point where you got to take a trip. Good. Okay,
mhm.
okay. I don't want to go over this part, but you mentioned that some of those stories confirmed something for you. What did it confirm?
um
If
uh
you can share.
you know, ages that certain events happen, and um I find like I'll have like a feeling about something. Um okay, I can give you this one. This one's like PG. But uh back where like my family's from, you go by your middle name. You don't really use your first name, your government name. Everyone calls you by your middle name. Only people who use your first name is like work and school, right? So trying to look up people in my family, and this name popped up, and I'm like, I know that's my grandmother's brother. And I asked my mom, and I said, "Is this him?" No, it's not him. And I'm like I know you said that's not his name, but like this is giving me this is the person. And then I kept like researching more, and then I found the name that she gave me was actually a middle name. So then I started comparing information. Did he live in such and such place? Yeah. Was he married to so and so? Yeah. Okay, that's him. What you know is actually his middle name. His first name is this. And so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a key for you. And now you know. You hear names, it's middle name. That's a key that's going to help you research. So that's good.
Hmm.
Okay, Mona, how about you?
Okay, okay, you can see me. So I
Yes.
actually have a story to tell you guys, and this happened to me 2 weeks ago, right? So I have two sets of keys. So I was looking for one of my sets of keys for my salon suite, and I was getting very frustrated because I'm like, I know these keys are somewhere in the house. So I'm looking for the keys, looking everywhere, downstairs, upstairs, everywhere. Couldn't find the keys. I It's so crazy how uh, not who was before you? I'm trying to get the names right.
Quavi.
Aquave, yes, how she mentioned about the different nervous systems. And I realized I was starting to get like very upset and start to like panic. So when I realized that I was getting triggered, I stopped and I said, okay, Poppy, which is one of my ancestors, I said, Poppy, if you can please help me find these keys. I don't know where it's at. I'm getting frustrated. I have to go to my salon suite. Otherwise, I'm going to miss out on my money. I kid you guys not. I took a moment. I had a That's So Raven moment. Like I paused for a minute and I heard a voice said, go to your suite. So I went to my suite. Guess what ended up happening? I locked my set of keys inside my suite. And I said, I be got dog on. I listened to my ancestors. I said, Poppy, okay, we connected.
You hear?
Yeah, we here. So I'm like, wow, it's so amazing how you just call upon your ancestors, even though the response may not be right away or when you may need it. Sometimes it takes for us to just take a step back and breathe and listen, because I feel like those inner voices, like they be talking. And
Mm-hmm.
like you just have to be so obedient. And I was glad that I was obedient, because at the time it didn't make sense to me. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I have to drive 30 minutes to my suite. And lo and behold, it was right there.
It was there.
It
Ah,
was
that's
there.
good. That's good. That's good. Okay. So I hear you ladies, you're doing the work. You're looking for those family members and you found, at least for now, a way that helps you connect, right? A way to venerate. And I hear calling name a lot, right? Calling on your ancestors. I hear the stories and I hear like the earnest trying to find the research. So continue to develop yourselves in those things, and your practice will grow, right? And your connection and relationship will grow. That's wonderful work. That's wonderful work. Okay, so to quickly, go towards the, conclusion of this portion, I wanted to, because I hear you ladies may be now ready to hear about how we should be observing, right? So we are now in the moment. We are calling our ancestors. We're building a relationship. We're building a routine, but then how do we know, um, how to receive the messages that come to us. And so I want to just do a quick introduction on how ancestors may speak to us, right? Or how they may give us messages or guidance, clarity. Because once you've done, your meditation, your breath work, and you've done, your ancestral veneration practice, the next step for you to do is observation, right? We have to observe the messages that are coming to us. We have to learn what language, we have to learn the language, right? So, what ways do you know ancestors speak to us? You said some already, but what ways do you know that ancestors speak?
For me, I know it's numerology, sequence.
Numbers, okay. So you see sequences and numbers, and that's one observation. So that's good. That's good. Anything else?
The same thing she said too, and then I don't something like birds, like this black bird, like when I get upset or if I think about like my loved one, I always see this black bird. So it be animals and then sometimes like owls, and then like I was saying, sometimes now it's like scents or things that they used to do it occur and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Nature. Nature is a big way. So like how the wind blows, what birds and animals you see, what plant life is around you, what you're drawn to. Definitely, definitely. Tiffany, do you have any special ways you observe ancestors speak to you?
I was just going to say the same, uh, observing nature and like the synchronicities. I can't really call it. It's kind of like if I see it, I know it, if that makes
Mm,
sense.
yeah.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Okay, well, let me give you a couple of different ways, and you're going to want to write this down because there's some things that you're going to want to make sure to observe throughout the days going forward, right? So, yes, nature, right? Observing the elements in nature, the patterns in nature is a way ancestors may speak to us. Um, Dreams. Dreams is another way ancestors may speak. So we have to always be paying attention. Priestess Hanera always says, in this practice, you always have to be thinking. Why did that happen? What was that? That's not normal. I just prayed for this and then the wind blew. What was that? You have to always be thinking. Your intuition, as women, we have a special gift, right? Your intuition. If you're paying attention to yourself and you're paying attention, you're able to see the messages that are within your intuition. Why you have a gut feeling about something, why you decided I'm not going to go here today, and then something happens, right? Your protection, you listening to that voice inside of you. So your intuition is another way. um, what other ways? How we interact with people around us. So, after we're in our practice, you'll notice that interactions with your family members, communications with your loved ones, your spouse, your friends, sometimes you'll see those interactions can be exactly what you need at that moment or reveal to you the things that you don't need at that moment, right? And so paying attention and being observant to those interactions are very important as well. Okay. Um, okay. So I will leave you with that small, excerpt, and I hope to dive deeper into some of the observations of how ancestors speak to us. But for right now, I will say just be observant, always be thinking, right? Always have your spiritual hat on so that you're able to receive the messages that come to you. So in the end, I won't give much homework. I feel like you ladies are still needing to develop that family tree more, find those stories, develop that research that you need. But I will want to give you one thing to do, and I hope that it kind of pulls in what Akwabi said was mentioning in her workshop, and also within this. I remember when I was first starting, I have like a super hectic, busy life, right? And it was very important for me to develop a spiritual practice that I could sustain, like to be routine and disciplined within that. And what I struggled with was finding the space and time within my day, right? To be consistent. Because without the consistency, you can't build a relationship, right? And when you're doing ancestral veneration, you're building a relationship. You have to be consistent, whether that means once a week for you, once a day, hopefully not once a month, but like you have to be consistent. So Priestess Hanera in the beginning gave me this assignment, and I'll give you the abbreviated form. But what I want you to do is pick a day throughout the week. And this is going to be your day, your self-care day. Okay. And in that day, carve out 2 hours for yourself. Okay. And in those 2 hours, you're going to do one or three things. Okay. You're going to either be silent. That means no talking, no watching TV, no listening to music. Be silent. Go out in nature, take a walk, a hike, a run in nature, or read or journal. Read or journal. Okay? So pick a day that you feel you can do, that you can take 2 hours, or pick a day that you're drawn to for whatever reason, your day you were born, whatever your ancestors lead you to, and carve out those 2 hours and choose one of those things. No talking, walking, going in nature, or journaling or reading. Okay. So Tiffany, which one do you think you'll be able to do?
I think the nature, I would like to do nature. I don't know how long I can do that, but journaling or reading for sure, I can keep that up.
Yeah, and so as long as the weather is good, you can do nature, but journaling
Yeah,
and
I said nature and I forgot where I was for a second. um, yeah, yeah, journal, reading your
journal.
journal. I can do
Oh,
that. But I'm glad that you said that about making time. 'Cause I know you're a career woman and you have family, but you also made time for initiation and your spiritual practice. So I I think, speaking to that, like how sometimes it seems like you don't have time, but you have to make the time. It's really, really important. That's kind of where I'm at now.
absolutely. You kind of have to take a survey and say, well, I don't really need to do that. This is not really a priority. And you got to push that out, push it away, right? And also, it's a way of purification in a way, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Sure. Okay. Yamona, which one do you think you're going to be able to do?
Okay, since all of the kiddos are in school, I'm so happy. I believe going out into nature. I know it's been very hot in Houston, so I've been complaining, but I'm gonna put on a sports bra with the cardigan and go outside into nature
Yes,
and
ma'am.
journal.
Got it. Got it. That's going to be good for you. Good for you. Okay. And Tiana?
I think something is telling me to challenge myself to be silent.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try that one.
Good, good. Okay. So all of you ladies kind of sound like you're picking your thing. And during that time, I expect to have feedback on what you've observed and yeah, what you observed. Yeah. Okay, well, that ends my portion of ancestral veneration. I'm glad we were able to go deeper as you ladies continue to do the work. And so I'm here for you if you have any questions, and I continue to send you good energy, encourage you along your path. Thank you.
I love this. I love that we're getting an opportunity to go deeper, and I'm excited to hear next week how it's been with you guys doing these assignments because you guys are already seeing so much growth, and it's so encouraging to hear that. I love that story from you, Mona, about your grandfather and the keys, and it literally gave me chills when you said that. So that's amazing. Um, and now we have an opportunity to go even deeper with Mianu. It's always so good to get to hear her speak. And even when I hear the same message, she says it different ways. And so it connects with something else. And so with everybody being returning, I'm excited to get the opportunity to go even deeper and see what we can get from this time. So without further ado, Miyano Mananasi.
Thank you, Jay, for the introduction. I'm greeting everyone. How are you? It's good to see everyone back this week. Let me first give honor to Nae Bujitao and Imaso II, my teacher, who has given me the charter to not only teach you, but all of North America to come and help all of the children of the Divine Mother. Right now we have women, all women, but you know what? There may be a time, there may be a man or two, a son or two inside. So, or we ourselves, I will have to teach you both sides because you may be, what do they call them online? A boy mom. You might be a boy mom. And so you'll have to know what your son needs to know in order to raise him the right way. And then if you're not a boy mom, you need to know the role of a man so you don't step in that role. Sometimes we're in the masculine role because we just don't know our place. And so when you know the role of a woman and you know the role of a man, knowledge is power. And so you have the key to therefore step into your power and not weaken yourself, but actually to ignite a certain side of you. So that time is coming. We had we're having these sessions and all types of people are coming, and I'm grateful for that. So with that being said, someone recap for me what we went over last week. Or before you do a recap of my portion, do you guys have any questions or comments for me in regard to the two sections that you just went over with Aquavi or Abba? Questions for me about ancestral veneration or altars, or questions for me about alignment through breath work or meditation? No?
I just want to
Okay.
make a comment.
Okay. Okay.
So I took my spiritual bath that you gave me, and I just want to say it was wonderful. It was wonderful.
Okay. Yay.
Wonderful.
Now remind me, did I have to give you the directions in text message?
Yes. Because I was one of the late birds at your function in Houston. So it inquired me
I
to
remember.
take it along. Yeah.
Okay. Did you take it after your moon cycle, or you just was there a particular time period that you took the bath after?
It was a particular time period. I kept procrastinating from the time the event was, and then how I'm just saying, okay, I'm gonna take it, but I've never gotten the chance to get to it. Then out
Mhm.
of nowhere, and I know it's my ancestors, was like, girl, do the damn bath. So I'm like, okay, because my ancestors are always like they hitting me. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And it's so funny
Mhm.
because I went to Kroger's, I got my flowers, and I
Mhm.
took my bath on
Mhm.
the 5th. I took my bath on the 5th. So that was on Tuesday. When I say that
Okay.
my flowers will be dead, I kid you guys not. My flowers that I picked for my bath are still like blooming like it's no tomorrow.
Mhm.
And I
Okay.
was like, this is the first because this never happens. Usually when I buy my roses
Mhm.
that week, it would be dead like literally in 4 days. But this time, I have
Mhm.
to show you guys. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I don't want to
No, it's fine.
take up too much time. But okay, I need to get some light in here because it's a little dark. For some strange reason, look,
Oh.
and white, I literally just said, just give me some flowers at the lady. And she gave me the white. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to question. Okay, purification. Got it.
Mhm.
And I was just so amazed. Like when I was taking my bath, I kid you ladies not. Like it was just, it's something that you can't explain. It's like you have to be there to
Mhm.
literally see it. And I'm like, okay, ancestors, like I'm making you guys proud. I'm getting out my comfort zone. So we got this.
That's good. That's good. Continue to stay in that flow.
Yes.
Continue to listen to that voice. Um, and the practices that you are learning in these workshops, incorporate them and continue to observe how they affect your purity and intuition, right? And if you get a positive effect, then you keep going. Yeah. Um, that's a confirmation that you're going in the right direction. I had a woman just this week. Um, she came and we did her consultation, and she's like, you know what? I just realized you're the woman that was in my dream a year and a half ago. I dreamt about you way before I knew anything about you, and it'll be those types of confirmations that they'll send you to let you know you're going in the right direction. There'll be confirmations like the roses staying alive. There'll be confirmations just your energy is different. Your dreams are more vivid. You can other gifts are starting to come alive. Like I think someone was talking about their sentient gifts, like being able to smell different energies in the room. That's a gift. You know, um, that's a gift, and we talk about purity. Your purity is what, Yana, Mona? What is
So
purity?
it's
Say,
the measure
oh, go ahead.
it's
I'm
the
sorry.
measurement when the unseen world will interact with you.
Right. So as you start to get all of these coincidences, we're on a spiritual journey, and what we're doing is intentional. Mona, what you're doing is intentional. these are, they go from, now that you have the awareness, they're no longer coincidences. They're confirmations, right? Now they're confirmations that you are on the right path and your purity and connection is increasing. And it gets, sometimes you may even find yourself getting to a point where, you're chasing that connection. It's like, I remember, there was a point in time where when I was younger, my dreams used to be like this, or I used to be able to see things before they happen, and all of these things. And I want to get back to that. You come to chasing a time where your purity was at its highest. And so that's what I'm hoping, that as we're doing these workshops and we go into the October cleanse, that we get to a level of our purity that we haven't experienced before, and it sets a new bar for us. It sets a new bar for each of you, to where you could say, I really liked my clairvoyance and my body and the way I was connecting and all the signs and things that were happening in October. And how do I keep that or increase that? So I'm so happy that you finally got to the bath. And you have to think, it's had about a month and a half to steep. I put that in a bottle, didn't I, for you? So you had the bath that I made, Mona? Am I remembering that?
Yes. And it's so funny how you gave me two, but I was instructed to only pour one, because you're gonna need this second one. So I was being obedient. I said, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do the one, and I'm gonna save this other one. And then,
so how many do you have? One now?
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
So I'm just, waiting for instructions of when to do
Nice.
the next one.
Well, I think you guys know when that next one is coming. I know Abla and Kwavi do. It's coming in October, or at the end of September, in preparation for October. That's some of the things I wanted to go over today, is what we need to do to prepare ourselves for October, because the preparation starts now. Okay, so we'll get to that. But before we do, are there any other comments or questions before we do the recap? Okay. Okay, Mona, thank you for sharing that with us. Now, I want you guys to recap what we went over in your session. Were all of you in the same group last week, or were some of you in a different session?
I was in a different group.
Okay. Well, we'll all share what we have, and we'll all get on the same page and then move forward. Okay. So you guys give me your recap of last week.
So, in my group, we went over like we had to choose which meal we wanted to do. Like you had from fasting from to sundown and was able to eat. No, you eat once sun is down. And then I also put that is no water with that option. And then the other option was you could start your fast. Well, you could eat from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. And I also wrote our homework was what did we wanted to get from this fast.
Oh, sorry. One of the children walked in. I was
Oh
telling them
yeah.
quiet.
I thought you were telling me.
I appreciate you being, respectful. I apologize. They were coming in.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Um, but we would like to manifest the level of degree of struggle. Um, and then if you couldn't do like the first two options, you could did it like a alkaline diet. And yeah, that's pretty much it that I have on in my notes.
Okay. That was at the end. That was the homework. Does anyone have any notes on the lecture portion or what we talked about leading up to the homework?
Are you talking about like when we went over like the food we eat, the eliminating like from sweating, going to use the bathroom, hair shedding? Um, yeah, because I have my bad. I read the end of the notes. Yeah, so I do have that. And then not putting the altar in the kitchen in the bedroom. And then you were saying also we can't have sex during this, try to reframe having sex during this fasting. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. And then I already said about the eating portion.
Okay, anyone else? Mona, Tiff?
I wasn't present last week, so this is new info for me.
Okay, I'll go through it in more detail. The last session you were in and you heard me speak, what did you get? What did you have from that?
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. My brain is fried.
Okay. Well, I will tell you, I give free sessions, but there has to be an energy exchange. Um, um, you have to take notes and retain. Um, and so let me know when I do the recap. If anything sounds familiar, then you just take over and you tell me what you know. Because that's important. Okay. And you guys need to know, you guys should be getting a journal on the website this month, for the rest of this month, Abla. I want it to be free shipping. So just take the shipping out. So you guys need to order a journal and a pen from the website because you need to keep notes. The information I'm giving you, my students get in one-on-one sessions. And so the information that I'm giving you is preparing you for your spiritual journey. And it's valuable. And when a teacher teaches, you have to hold that knowledge with two hands, carefully, respectfully. And so you guys should have a journal dedicated to yourself, your spiritual walk, right? One of the things in preparation we're going to talk about is some of the things we're going to do in October, and you're going to need a journal for that. Matter of fact, I think Aquabi has you already going down that path. It's either Aquabi or Abla. They already have you going down that path of spending time writing things down. I'll tell you in general, and I don't blame you. You know who I blame? I blame this society. You know, we have the Sankofa program, and I'm really getting into education. I did not realize that they stopped teaching the children handwriting. Here in the States, everything is Xeroxed or on the computer. There's very little writing that the children do in the school systems. Even when it comes to homeschooling, there's so much curriculum that's prepared for you that unless you're a parent that makes your child write things out, it's easy to just Xerox a page or take the workbook and have your child fill in blanks. I saw, I'm a part of a homeschool little network, and there was a little meme, I think it's a meme or a post they put up. They said, I'm gonna, when I get older, I'm gonna write in cursive to piss the young people off, right? Or to be like a code, be a secret language. And that's because they're not teaching the children cursive writing anymore. And so I don't blame you. I don't shame you. I shame society. I don't shame any of you. I shame society for how far away from nature's principles we are. So you guys will see on the website, there's a pen made of wood, hand carved, made of wood, and the journal with African fabric of it, reminding you of your identity. All of this that we're doing is bringing you back into your natural form, restoring your identity as an original healer. Okay? So make sure in preparation for next month, you guys should all have a journal. As soon as you have your journal and your pen, I want you to come and hold it up. And like I said, for this month, the rest of this month, there's free shipping. So no matter where you are, Tiff, Mona, no matter where you are, it's no excuse. The shipping is on me. And depending on the cost I don't even know how much the pen is, but the shipping may be more than the cost of the item. So just take advantage of this time. I really want you guys to, for one, us to stand in unity, right? I want us to stand in unity. Abla, Aquavi, they have their pens and their journals, and I want each of you to have yours as well, because that's important. You're going to be doing a lot of writing. And we talk about, with the altar space, we talk about designated spaces, right? We talk about setting boundaries. And we're going to talk about how that works with the first temple as well. We set boundaries, and that's why we don't want our altars in high traffic areas, right? That's why we don't let everybody into our altar space. That's why when we go into our altar, we check ourselves and the energy we bring in, right? Especially if you're married and you have an altar with not only your ancestors, but your spouse's ancestors. If y'all just had a spat, don't you dare go into that altar with that type of energy. Cleanse your energy first. Go walk barefoot somewhere, drink some water, do some breathing, some squats, change that energy around before you go into your altar. And once you feel that energy moving and shifting out, Then you go into your altar space. We have to set boundaries. And we're going to do that with our personal temple as well. Okay. And so we're going to have a designated space of where we write all of our notes for class, and then also our dreams. Because one of the things we want is to have not only dreams, but I think in some places they call them downloads. Other places, I just know them as thoughts or strong inclinations, because I'm training you to be a thinker and to think with a traditional logic. And so I'm teaching you to be logical, and strengthening that connection. And by strengthening, I'm really talking about purifying that connection. When we talk about strengthening your brain, strengthening the different organs, we're talking about in your body, just like everything in existence. You guys may have heard me say this before. There's no space in existence that is Aquavi, bring me some water. Bring me my water bottle. Bring me a glass with some ice in it. My water bottle is here. Bring me some a glass. You guys will hear me say, there's no space in existence that's empty. Have you guys heard that before?
Can you repeat it? No.
There's no empty space. As spiritual people, we know there is energy everywhere. Energy translates into a deity. There's not an aspect of existence that is not governed by a deity. So even air. Tell me where in this existence is there not air? And if air isn't present, then what is there? There's another element, and that element too is a deity. So if there's not air, there's water. Is water not governed by a voodoo? Is fire not governed by a voodoo? Is the earth not governed by a voodoo? So there's no place in existence that's empty. Existence is full. That's important to know, because when you have that as a fundamental, we're going to relate that to our first temple. This is preparing us for October. And understanding that existence is full. When we talk about our first temple, we know that there is a voodoo over our lungs, over our kidneys, over our liver, over our brain, over the blood, over our skin, over our hair, over our emotions, over our womb, our menstrual cycle. There's nothing in this existence that doesn't have a spiritual name, because existence is full. Matter of fact, when you have science that can break down the scientific composition of a thing and say this is this atom and this is composed of this many hydrogen and these many carbon and oxygen and blah, 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 blah. Really what they're saying is how many of this voodoo plus that voodoo plus this voodoo come together to make this new name of that voodoo. And as you study and initiate, if you're called to do those things, you'll learn some of the names of the voodoo that are governed over all of existence. That's not the point of this class. You guys have to earn that. You have to initiate for that. The point of this class is to open up your awareness that existence is full, which means there's spirituality everywhere. So when we talk about taking care of our first temple, we're really talking about taking care of our voodoo, of the voodoo in us, and strengthening that connection. How do we strengthen that connection? We're talking about purity right now. Okay. You guys got that down?
Yes.
You guys have questions? Somebody recap that for me.
I have a question, and it's, how can I word it? Because I'm still so fresh within this. Are we saying voodoo with the D-O-O or voodoo with the D-O-U? Like, I'm trying to understand the difference because I'm so lost.
That was my question. I was going to ask that. So thank you for bringing that up.
Okay.
No, that's good. Means you guys are paying attention. I'm starting to give you use terminology that I probably haven't used with you guys before, bringing you in just a little bit closer. So when I say voodoo, voodoo in the voodoo tradition of West Africa, okay, which is the origin of a lot of spiritual systems out there, traditional systems. Even the Roman Catholics have stolen the voodoo spiritual model. There's a book, I think it's right above a Kwavi somewhere on that bookshelf, if she hasn't moved it. And it's from a Mami Wata priestess. And she breaks down, a fellow sister of mine, she's transitioned though, she's here in spirit. And she breaks down how the Roman Catholic Church stole their model from our voodoo religion. So very, very sought after information. A lot of spiritual systems come out of voodoo. And so when I say voodoo, I'm talking about in this text, in this term, I'm talking about deity or God. And in traditions, we believe that there are many gods. There's one supreme, big G, source, whatever you want to call him. It has many names. Supreme has many names, but there are also lesser uh, gods as well. You can call them demigods, you can call them Orisha, you can call them Loa, you can call them Voodoo. So that's what I mean. Deities. There's many different layers of existence. And the deity level, even within deities, there's many levels. But the deity level is above ancestral level. Okay. So when I talk about voodoo, I'm talking about deities. When I'm talking about ancestors in voodoo, you'll hear me say Thugby. I don't think I've used that word with you much.
Could you spell that one? You said Thubby?
Habla, do you have the spelling?
Thank you.
Mhm.
I just put in the chat.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mhm. So now I'm starting to kind of educate you guys in this specialty field of West African voodoo. But not to get too caught up in that, I'm going to bring you guys back to the surface. But I just wanted to let you know it can go deep. We're going to come back up to the surface. And we're going to know that for the purpose of the cleanse, the purpose is to purify or increase our connection with the divine world. All right, with all of the voodoo. And they are within us. Again, there's nothing in this existence that doesn't have a voodoo connected to it. So even though you may not know the name, does that mean you don't honor it? We talked about this with the ancestral altar. You could be adopted. You could have family that, they don't know the history. You're still researching. It's your level of investigation that gets you that information. But does that mean you don't acknowledge the deity or the voodoo? You still acknowledge them. You just call out my mother's mother's mother, my father's father's father, right? You may not know the name of the voodoo that governs over your liver or your heart or your lungs. But when you're doing your prayers, you seek to purify and cleanse. And I'm calling on the voodoo over my body, over my blood, over this. You still can call the name. You guys see that? So we're still going to, I'm going in between the two because sometimes what I've learned in this process is that we get caught up in our air, in our communication, and we don't make it practical. And so I'm going in a way that helps make it real and practical. Why are we doing this fast from a spiritual perspective? There's plenty of people out there I can direct you to, and they give you diet and nutrition. And you guys should keep that in mind because they have good knowledge and good information. and it's a complement. We complement each other, right? But what I'm giving you now is the spiritual component. Okay. So this is not to take away from, Queen of Four and Dr. Sabi and Brother Yaki, uh, uh, Dr. Layla, Africa, none of them, right? None. This is to complement and to just go a step deeper. I think in the last session, we talked about the pool. And I had an opportunity this week to go to a pool and do some swimming. And you notice I observe a lot. There's like two kinds of people out there. When you first come to the pool, there's a person that goes through and they sit and they do 1 foot in. Y'all seen that person. And it take them about 10, 15, sometimes 30 minutes before the water come up to here. They got to ease on in there. And if you splash them, they go back a little bit. Don't you get me wet, Like, I ain't trying to get my hair wet. We've all been there. And then we have that person that comes in, and as soon as the gate closes, they drop their towel, and what do? They go cannonball into the deep end, right? We have to identify, who are we? Do we ease our way in, or do we cannonball? Okay. And so that's how it is with this information. We're going to ease our way and prepare for the cleanse, or at least I'm going to get what is that, Tiff? I can't see it. What you say? Say it.
I said, and then you have the person who can't get in unless you push them in.
Oh, right. Why did you come? Right, to observe and take pictures and post everybody else. No, get inside. Get inside. Yep, you're right. So we have to know that what we're doing it with a spiritual purpose inside. Even though we don't know our head spirit, we don't know the deities that make us up, that come within our bloodline. We don't know, but we still want to honor them. We know that when we fast, we are connecting with them. So I'm going to recap a little bit, because I think Mona wasn't here last week to get all of that. And so I'll recap a little bit before moving forward, because I think I start giving y'all too much already. Let me see. Where are we at on time? Okay. So Heal the Healer. We started talking about ancestral altar, and we started talking about 3 human conditions that we have as a spirit and a body that prevent us from connecting purely to our other side, or the side of the unseen. As a recap, anyone know what those 3, and I think in this session I gave a 4th one, but mainly I used the 3 set, what those 3 human conditions are. What are the 3 things we have to do as humans to keep alive and keep our lineage alive, that our pure spirit doesn't have to do, or the unseen world doesn't have to do?
We have eating, eliminating, and procreation. Procreating.
Yes.
The verb.
Mona, you got that? Does any of that sound familiar to you?
Yes.
Well, okay, tell me what you remember about those 3.
Well, I wasn't here last week, so I could only piggyback off of like my intuition.
Okay.
Would that be appropriate?
Okay. No, it's okay. It's okay.
So what I can like what's coming to me as far as like eating, like the other day, like I told myself I have to start eating more clean because I've been eating a whole bunch of meat, processed foods, a lot of sugar. And then I realized that when I stopped and then I started drinking my natural smoothies, my water, the way how I process information and just thinking and going about my day is totally different. So I'm starting to implement and be obedient to eat more cleaner because it makes me more aware of my surroundings. I'm able to pick up on things a lot more faster versus if I go and I drink my coffee from McDonald's, I know it's the stigma that it gives you energy and I love it so much, but I realize when I take a step back, because I'm guilty, when I take a step back and just put my intentions into my smoothie, making it at home, it makes me feel a lot more better when I go about my day to day. So
True. True.
that's what I can think
True.
of.
Yes, mushroom coffee is a good alternative.
I want it. That's so crazy. Tiffany said, I'm thinking about doing that because I'm a coffee person. Is it good? I was talking about that with my mom and we was thinking about doing it. Oh, you do it? I'm gonna try it.
I have Aquavi's not on here. She can show you. Here at the temple, we have a subscription to mud water. So
Okay.
we use mud water, and then there's another one.
Mud
The,
water. I'm
yeah,
I
writing
there's
this
haven't
down
tried
because I was
mud
gonna
water.
ask
I
what
like
company.
Rise.
Yeah,
and
that's another
Aquavi.
one.
Have we done Rise before? We haven't done Rise.
I haven't tried mud water. I like Rise. But Priestess should probably do some affiliate marketing with a coupon discount code for some coffee because that mushroom coffee is getting a little expensive. I'll be rationing it
Um,
out like it's like the Great Depression or something.
yeah, yeah. I'd say you see, she has it up there. She grabbed it off of a high shelf. You see that? Yeah. And the frother is right there too. I don't put that in the communal kitchen because they'll use it for all kinds of nonsense. You know, especially the boys, here for the summer, they'll just, what are you doing? I'm trying to shred the oranges. Who's my frother? You know. But yeah, no, high what we put in our system, in our body, affects our connection. And during the cleanse, that's what we're going to be focusing on. Last week we talked about food from a standpoint of the cleanse and cleaning our first temple. And what we talked about was when it comes to spiritual enlightenment and increasing your spiritual purity and food, because eating is something that spirit doesn't have to do, it's a human thing. We want to eliminate as much of the human functionality as possible. So, in order to go closer to spirit, ancestors, the voodoo, increase your intuition and enlightenment, we will have to have long periods of time where we don't eat. Emphasis on long. Okay. So ideally, as a temple, as a sisterhood, we're looking to do no food from sun up to sundown. Because the goal is to increase our connection and our purity. We use a lot of energy to digest food. It takes hours to digest certain types of food, especially the more dense it is, like meat, right? And in order to heal, say, our kidneys, our liver, to replenish and restore and rejuvenate, right? We need to have periods of time where we can take that power, that energy that we would normally be using to digest food, and we can use that energy to replenish and restore our organs, i.e., our voodoo. Okay. Also, the food, when we do eat, the shortened period of time that we are going to eat, we need to eat with a direct purpose, like keeping the same focus, right? We're not eating for a long period of time because we what? What do we want to do? I just said it. Y'all paying attention?
You don't, well, just to purify ourselves, and then we doing it just to eliminate the human experience. No, the heal, the let your digestive system or your organs let it do their job.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else?
You stated that the food that we do eat, you want to eat it with direct focus.
Right. With the same focus that we're using, um, or the same reason that we're not eating, right? To increase our purity and spiritual connection. That's what I'm looking for. To increase our purity and spiritual connection. That's the reason we're not going to be eating for long periods of time during the fast. That's also the food choices we're going to make during the time that we are eating. You following me? So when the sun goes down, and we are having food, or before the sun comes up and we're having food, we should have food that follows that same focus, intent, and goal, which is to increase your spiritual connection, right? Do you guys know what foods those are? We talked about them last week at all? Or do you guys have an inclination from other learning that you've had?
My understanding is just you want to eat as close to nature as possible. So you can't fast from 6 to 6 and then break your fast with Domino's pizza.
Right.
It has to be as intentional as your fast, i.e., eating as close to nature as possible so that you're not canceling out all the work you just did spiritually and physically by fasting.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I'll give a phrase to sum up what Tiffany has given us, and that is an alkaline diet. Okay. So when we do eat in October, we want to make sure all the food that we consume is alkaline. Does anyone know what it means to have an alkaline diet?
I would just say, I'm the person I got on the journey with Dr. Sebi, and I just from hearing him and then Dr. Um, I think it's Layla Africa. They were saying our body is more a alkaline state, but when we eat all the processed food and all that, we make it more acidic. So I'm assuming like our body is more inclined with alkaline. Like that's what we supposed to be eating in the state we should be in general overall.
Yes, naturally. But most of what we consume is acidic or acid forming. Aquavi and Abla, you guys want to chime in on what is an alkaline diet, what it means to be alkaline, and some of the benefits?
Yes. So, Tayana, I think you said a really good point of reducing acidity and keeping ourselves in balance with the natural state. And so having a diet that's removing acidity is a way for us to reinforce healing within our body.
Mm-hmm. Aquavi?
Yes, and so along those lines, there are alkaline foods that are actually really delicious. I think when I first went into learning about alkaline diet, I was like, oh, I have to just eat raw vegetables and fruits all the time. But you learn how to create from those parameters, and your body also feels really good. And so you're getting the nutrients that you need, and also being more in tune with nature and the creativity of nature that comes with it. It's not like you're just completely removing yourself from um, enjoyment of food.
Mm-hmm. When it comes to alkaline versus acid, if you guys, what you do, you follow Dr. Sebi, Chef Aki. There's a couple other people out there that really this is their specialty, right? Nutrition and diet. I'm not going to go in deep. You guys can follow them and go deep on their specialty. But what I will say is when it comes to the second point, which is uh, toxicity and corruption, we can also, when it comes to our temple and body, add to that disease. And disease, dis-ease, cannot live in an alkaline environment. Okay. It's just like all the other principles out there, masculine and feminine, yin and yang, light and dark, opposites, the opposites. You cannot have a positive and negative. You're the positive or you're negative. There's no middle sign. That's just the way nature is, right? And so disease cannot live in a acidic environment. I'm sorry, disease cannot live in an alkaline environment. And so in order to heal and restore, we need to be as alkaline as possible, right? Remove as much corruption as possible. Again, we're trying to remove the corruption, all the elimination. We're trying to remove it as much as possible and be as pure and as clean and as connected as possible. And so when it comes to our body, our first temple, the goal is to be as electric or close to nature as possible. So when we do eat food in October, we need to eat alkaline food. Okay. Last week, did we talk about other parts of toxic actions and behaviors that we need to eliminate and do away with? Did we talk about alcohol and smoking?
I think it was, well, in my group it was more like the sex part or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So we'll get to sex. Get to sex. So other behaviors that we're gonna want to stay away from is drinking alcohol. We're gonna want to stay away from any type of smoking, cigarettes, THC, herbal smoking, any of that. No smoke in the lungs of any kind. Vaping, any of that. That's all brings down your pH. pH is a measure of alkalinity and acidity in your body. Okay. We also want to protect our energy and aura field. We're going to want to not be outside at night. Yes, that's what I said. No smoke of any kind. No rosemary, no lavender. You're not smoking any herbs. You don't want any smoke to go into your lungs. Okay.
I wonder, does that also apply, like with me, I like the incense every day. Would that tied in that too or no?
No, not unless you're
Okay.
rolling up in some paper and no, I'm
No.
playing.
I know it sounded crazy, but I was like, let me
No,
ask
but
because
you're
I have,
inhaling it, so I
yeah.
understand. Yeah. You're not gonna stand over it and
Oh no.
yeah, no, then you're fine. It can
Be
be in
like
the
Bill
air.
Clinton. I didn't inhale.
Right. I didn't inhale. Okay.
I just wanted to add, well, while Priestess was talking about alkaline diet, be mindful of the water you're drinking. I know people are marketing water as being alkaline, and a lot of the water that's being marketed is alkaline because of the chemicals they're adding to it to change the pH level of it. So it should be, yeah, spring water or somewhere like naturally sourced. If you're in San Diego, you have access to Carlsbad water. I used to drive down there every weekend and get and fill up.
Mhm.
Um,
Yep.
we don't have access to that here. So
What was the name of it? I didn't even know.
Carlsbad water. You can buy it in bulk at Costco, or you can drive down to Carlsbad yourself and fill it up. I think that's more cost effective and nicer for the environment if you get the big jugs and store it. But you have options. So just be mindful of the water you're picking up at the store. If 9 times out of 10, it's harmful.
Thank
Right.
you.
And some you can also Buy copper containers. Copper makes your water alkaline and it removes the minerals, right? And you can also squeeze lemon in your water. Lemon water is alkaline. Good old lemon water. When we're in Africa, you always see women selling lemons and limes on the side of the roads. It's like, how could she just stay in business? Because they understand the power that citron has, right? It makes you on the cleanse. You will see, if you're around me, you will see me just suck on limes, just suck on lemons, right? Because the goal is to maintain your alkalinity. Of course, not sun up to sundown, but during the time we can't eat, you people who are around me know I have a ton of avocado and lemons, and I just suck on it because you're eating with a purpose and a focus to keep your alkalinity high. Of course, you incorporate other things into your diet. We also will be taking vitamins and things like that. And I don't know nothing about affiliate marketing, but I sure am realizing I'm bringing up a whole bunch of other products that I don't sell or do. So I will take note of that. You hear, and look
Priestess, I
into
just sent you
whatever
2
that
links to your WhatsApp. I don't know
is.
if you
You
saw
did.
that.
Oh, you did? I
Yeah.
don't have. I haven't looked yet.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I only do what I use honestly, um, for myself and what works. I only use for myself what works, and um, Aquavi, especially because she's with me so much, she can tell you I'm a snob when it comes to certain things. I don't do Prada and Gucci and Chanel, and I don't even want you to gift it to me because I don't want nobody to think I didn't bought it. But I tell you what, if we go to a farmer's market, or when it comes to like my mushroom extracts and things like that, I want my vitamins, I want nothing but the highest quality. So the things that I um, offer to you is what I use for myself. You guys see, I got a copper bottle right here. This is what I drink my water, and they know if it don't go through this, I don't come into me. People, oh, let me get you a bottle of water. I'll drink the water out of my copper jug, and then I'll pour that bottle of water inside my jug. But I won't drink the straight bottle of water, because in every way that we can, we need to be thinking and conscious of our connection to the divine world and working on our purity. Okay. It's not just, us going into the woods once a month, or, doing the root work that we do. It's more than that. What makes your root work better than the next practitioner, healer? It's your connection. It's your gifts. It's your purity. And in the last session, I likened it to when you're in the gym, who gets better results, right? The one who struggles, the one who suffers, right? Because you're suffering, benching all that weight. If lifting weights was something that was easy, everybody do it. But as soon to a certain level of suffering, as soon as we get to a certain level of discomfort, as soon as we get to a certain level where we have to use more discipline or use any discipline, we cut out. We're inconsistent. The gym is no different than your spiritual practice. During October, you will get the results that you suffer for. If you say, oh, I can't, I can't do sun up to sundown. It just, well, you've already set in your mind that you can't. You've already told yourself you can. So why would you? No. We're doing this in October. All of these meetings in September, I'm sorry if I misspoke. All of these meetings in September for Heal the Healer are preparing you healers for October. Okay. So you need to decide and commit to the level of suffering that you're going to do. The homework I gave you guys last week was to tell me which fast you were going to do. In this session, I only went over sun up to sundown. Mona, I'll give you the other two just in case you need it. I really encourage you to prepare yourself to do sun up to sundown. Okay. The other one was intermittent fasting, which is 12 to 6. So your first meal wouldn't be before 12. And your last meal would not be after 5:59. Okay. Again, we want to make sure that our period of not eating is far greater than the period we are eating. And when we do eat, we still want to make sure we're eating foods that give us the highest connection possible. So we're adhering to an alkaline diet even when we eat. Okay. The third choice was to simply, there's no time restrictions, but it's simply to have an alkaline diet. Where are we on time? Oh, okay. We're a little past on time. So let's just go through the homework before we go. So Tiffany and Tayana, you guys have your homework. There were 2 questions you needed to answer. The first one, buddy. The first one was which were you going to commit to doing for 30 days? Which were you going to have the discipline to do for the 30 days? Suffer to get the benefit for what level of benefit do you want? I just said that 3 different ways. It was the same thing. I just said it 3 different ways. So the floor is yours to answer the first question.
I've been leaning on doing the 12 to 6, but I'm changing my mind. I'm gonna do from the sundown to sun up, because I've been like I've been like doing kind of the 12 to 6 after like watching Yaki or whatever. So, and I know you were saying like you want to challenge yourself on what you're doing in longer periods. So I'm gonna do the sun down.
Now, I hear you saying it one way. I want to make sure that we're saying the same thing. When will you eat?
So when the sun goes down.
Okay. 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 Tiffany, the floor is yours.
Yeah. Um, I'm gonna do the sun up to sundown fast.
Okay.
We can do it, Tiffany. We can do it. Everybody, we can do it.
Man, let me tell you, I'm not gonna kid you guys. I fast a lot, right? But it you still suffer. It's suffering. So just yes, we will all be suffering together. I'm telling you, we're not doing no consultations that first 3 days for sure. You will hear limited from me, because yeah, the first 3 days you're really, really detoxing and getting used to it. But as we meet, you'll be able to see who's suffering and benefiting, and who is saying that they're suffering. Yeah, you'll be able to tell quickly. And so, and it's not for us to judge, right? Because we get the benefit for what we do. If I do 100 squats, I get the benefit for doing 100 squats. If I do 1,000 squats, if I do a challenge and I do 1,000, I get that benefit. So it's not for me to, or for you to monitor, because we're all on our journey. But what I would say is push, encourage, and support each other.
Priestess, is there a platform that we can use to share like recipes like that you can directly access to? You know how like on Facebook you have that section you can save files and people can just go to that so that you don't have to like weed through all the comments to find what you're looking for. I think that may be helpful for
Um,
those who aren't
so
used to alkaline diet.
on Facebook, we do have a Divine Feminine chat in Facebook. So you're saying we could use the Facebook chat to post recipes?
I'm not sure if you can use the Facebook chat, but I know you
Or
can
it's
use
a
the
group?
Facebook
It's a group.
page
It's
if
a
you
it's
save it to
it,
your actual page. I can
it's
send screenshots in the Divine Feminine chat in WhatsApp so you
okay.
can see what I'm referring to.
Okay.
Um,
The Divine Feminine chat, the WhatsApp chat, when you go in, you can look at only links and documents and photos without having
mm,
to scroll through. Yeah,
mm,
when you click it, you just click the title of the
mm,
chat, and it opens up and it gives you a link to say click meetings or documents, and you can click that and
mm.
scroll through just that, so you don't have to go through the whole thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
I still send me, Tiffany. I want to see. I'm always fascinated with technology. I don't go too far into it. I'm a bush baby, but I do want to explore and learn a little bit. So still share with me. Okay. Mona, do you need time, or do you know which you want to do for January? I mean, for October.
October. I would love to do the sun up to sundown. I'm definitely gonna challenge myself to that. I need it.
Okay. Sun up to sundown.
I have a question. So in between those
Mm-hmm.
time periods, because this would be my actual first fast ever. Are we able to drink
Okay.
water?
Yes.
That's
Yes. So we
what-
can drink water and you can have herbal tea, no sugar.
okay.
Again, sugar is acidic, right? No white sugar. Um, um, but you can have tea. And of the different teas, green tea is alkaline.
Mm,
Okay.
okay.
So I would stay away from black tea. Definitely no coffee. Coffee is acidic. So even if before the sun comes up, not coffee, because coffee is acidic. And no black tea, green tea or herbal tea.
Okay.
Okay. If this is your first time doing it, if you get weak and you need energy or power, you can add agave and honey. Somebody fact check this, but I believe both honey and agave are alkaline. But someone verify that. You can add a little bit of that if you need a jolt, or if you really find yourself going down, and you need energy. You have to go to work, you have to be in the sun, you have to move around, and you're starting to have thoughts that don't serve you, that can be dangerous or destructive. You have some juice, some orange juice or some apple juice, because that has natural sugar in it and that will help you, give you some energy. Okay. All right. The second question, the second part of your homework, let's cover that. What was the second part of your homework?
I believe it was to identify any hurdles that you'll have during the fast, any hurdles that you anticipate having, rather.
Right. So now that we've gone over how we have to monitor our intake when it comes to food, we have to monitor our intake when it comes to thank you, Abla. How we have to monitor our intake of toxicity, or negativity, meaning that we're not going to be drinking or smoking or going out after dark or doing a lot of social media or watching a lot of TV shows or the blogs and the reality TV and that friend we like to gossip with. We're going to stay away from that type of behavior. um, um, and the music. Let's not forget the music. We don't want to listen to music that activates, talks about sex. We have to watch it. No baby making music. That it's gonna put us into a frame of mind that's not constructive during this time because we're not having sex during this time. No low vibrate. You guys hear it all the time. And now we're learning the spiritual side. No low vibrational music. That trap music, not in October. That gutter, not in that. You guys can't listen to Sexy Red in October. No hanging with your rounds in October, okay? No, no. I got children, I got teenagers, we live in a communal house. We talk about a lot. We are real, okay? Not in October. Okay. I know you guys like the celebrity blogs. We should not know what's going on with Blueface and Krishan in October. Okay, we can't. We just Kim and Kanye and all the people. We ain't gonna know if Brother Polite turned himself in or not. We're not gonna know none of that. Okay. I'm just talking. I'm giving y'all examples. I don't know what your vices are. I'm just talking and giving examples. Okay. But that's toxic. Those are little toxic traits that we need to like eliminate in October. Our social media intake. I'm not going to tell you how much time you should or shouldn't be on social media. What I will say is that every week your phone should say you have decreased your screen usage by XYZ, right? Because you're using less. Okay. And sometimes, you know, we don't have any of those behaviors. We've already done the self-work to remove those behaviors out of our life. Sometimes it's just talking itself. Sometimes it's just being more observant and less talking. There's beauty and balance in that. This is all for October. Okay, so now that we know all of these things, we know we're not going to be having sex. Mona, is that going to be a challenge for you? Are you in a relationship?
I want to know, did I miss something when you stated if you're in a relationship?
Yeah, I was asking if you were in a relationship.
I know for me, yes, I'm currently married.
Okay. So for the married people, the advice for us is we can't deny our spouse. You can't deny your partner sex. So if they're coming to you for sex in October, you can't deny them, or you can't deny them too many times. Okay, that's just the advice I will give you in general. You can't deny your partner that is the connection for you two. You can't deny them that. But you can control your cravings for sex. You don't have to be the initiator. the fast does require that you control your cravings. So all of us will be abstaining and controlling ourselves, no masturbation, that we should not be doing anything to stimulate, activate that area. Sometimes it just activates on its own. And when that happens, go pee so you could think clearly and make sound judgments. But like I say, if your partner, and encourage your partner to do the cleanse with you. You know, that way it's something you guys do and share together. And there's other techniques and other ways of intimacy that you guys can come together. Look into Tantra and other things that you guys can possibly share together. And, you know, ask them if they would allow you 30 days to work on raising your spiritual connection. You might be surprised. They may give you 30 days and them do it themselves, or they may try more than normal, you know, be like, I'm only gonna mess with you once this week. I'm only gonna bother you once this week versus, you know, every other night. So you definitely need to have that conversation. And most spouses are supportive, you know, especially if they support you in your spiritual walk in general, and they see the benefit and changes that it's helped you with as a woman, as a spouse, as a parent. A lot of times they'll just go with you, you know, and either do it with you to stay connected, or they'll be okay. But let them know you will be there. You're not going to deny them, but you're giving them this information. It's like empowering them. Sometimes as women, we just tell them no, or we don't give our spouses power. We take the power away. Where in this instance, we give our spouse um, the power of knowing this is what I would like to do. It's like when you guys are driving, it's like, what do you want for dinner? Where are we driving to? It's like, okay, well, I would like, you know, to go to Soup Plantation. But I'm okay with anything that you want to eat, right? We do that. It's like, honey, I'm gonna be fasting this month. I've learned that being abstinent helps me increase my spiritual purity, and I want to try to be as abstinent as possible, to be as pure and have a high connection as possible. But I'll never deny you. If you come to me, I'm there. If you want me, I'm there. And then that way you give them the choice, you give them the power, and you don't guilt them or shame them when they come to you. You just acknowledge how they choose to lead. Okay. Any other questions?
What if you have to go outside at night? You know, you said that's
I
part
would
of the
just,
fast, not be outside.
yeah, limit that as much as possible. But if you have to, then, you know, you have to. But a lot of us could rearrange our lives to where we don't have to. Like if it's the grocery store or other things, we could just make it a priority to get things done during the day or start our day earlier. That way, by the time the sun sets, we're in the house. Spiritually, there's certain entities that govern the daylight, and there's other entities that govern the moonlight. And so when there's certain entities that govern the light, and there's certain entities that govern the dark. And during the fast, during this time, we are wanting to be only out and exposed during the daytime. Yes, if you work with me, you know I won't be going out or I won't be sending you out to do any ancestral work at night. You won't be, I'll never tell you to go give an offering to ancestors at night. Mm-mm. That there's just certain entities that have domain and dominion. And some of them are favorable for human beings and some of them aren't. And so with us working on our purity in the way that we're doing in our ancestral connection, as a rule of thumb, we need to be inside when it goes dark.
So I have a puppy
But
that I'm crate training.
okay,
So I have to
okay,
figure out like
okay,
often at night.
okay. Do you have to go far from the house?
No, I have grass right in
Oh,
front of my door.
yeah. Are we talking about like we shouldn't be at the
Out.
nightclub?
Oh no.
We
Mm-mm.
shouldn't be out. Yeah, we shouldn't be out
Outside.
interacting with people outside. Yeah. Okay. So what are the part 2 of the homework? What are some of, now that we know all of these things, right? We know about the sex, we know about the conditions of toxicity that we have to eliminate. We know about the eating parameters, your homework, and Mona, I'll have you go last since you didn't have 7 days to think about it. You got about 15, 20 minutes. I'll have you go last. But for Tiffany and Tayana, what are some of the challenges that you've identified that possible challenges for you during October?
I would say for me, the eating and then like the masturbation, what's some other hurdles? And just being disciplined, being consistent with it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I would offer for that, you need to get a buddy, an accountability partner.
That's
And
gonna
it
be
can't be
hard.
me. It needs to be one of the sisters in the group. You need to befriend someone and you guys talk and encourage each other and talk about recipes and check on each other throughout the day. And you need to find you someone that you kind of gravitate toward. Okay. When it comes to masturbation, if it's, I would, if it's a toy, I would take it to your friend's house, get it out the house. Just, it can't be nowhere around. Get it away. And that way you just don't have it. Nope. Whatever the normal ritual is, that happens, remove those things, right? If it's music, if there's some type of uh, like product involved, like whatever is the sequence. If there's a certain thing that happens, if there's magazines or websites, like whatever that sequence is that leads up to you being at the point where you can't control yourself and you just like, okay, well, we about to do this. Eliminate those things. Eliminate them as much as possible. And then, like I say, all else, get up and go pee. Get up, go pee. You may feel, I don't have to go pee. I bet you if you go sit on the toilet, something will come out. Go pee and then take a shower, walk around, get out, just move. Pee first. I don't care if you like, oh, okay, I was going to sleep. Well, get up, go pee, move around, go vacuum. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
No, we're family here. This is a
Yeah,
community.
I was just gonna say thank you for like keeping it real and being honest and stuff. Even from what you were saying, if you share it's a struggle when you fast and stuff. Because I was thinking like, oh, she done fast so many times that it's nothing to her. So thank you for being transparent.
No, it's hard for me too. And I'm gonna be. I'll share my struggle. I'm gonna be in Africa, and it's gonna be hot, and we have a lot of rituals and things going on, and the in the temple they can't even fathom not eating. Like even when we fast, it's like we still, the women, they still have oranges and fruit and things like that. And some of them are pregnant, so I understand, but um, they can't. They're like, what do you mean you're not having patent sauce? What do you mean you're not having this? So for me, it's gonna be hydrating in the heat and having the energy to continue my day, because it's easy to just sleep the days away. So the challenge for me will be still staying active and productive um, during this period, and not just sleeping and dreaming and journaling and doing all the lovely things that I love to do during this time, and just really just basking in um, uh, the time of fasting is, being in the sun, still doing offerings and sacrifices, doing divinations, going, taking care of cleaning the shrines and the temples, still, having all the meetings that we're doing for the Sankofa program, being active in the children's lives. It's still, and it's mommy times, I don't know how many, because I'm gonna be there with the children in the Sankofa program. So you have to be focused. And then we have the staff there, and it's, I would love to just remove myself for 30 days. And but no, so the challenge for me will be, being present and active in life while being a righteous leader over the challenge, and struggling to a new level of struggle. So that will, in the sun.
Yeah, that's a lot. Thank you for
In the
sharing that.
sun.
Whenever I get at Lolo, I'm gonna be thinking about you, because if you can do all that, ain't no excuse for me about my little struggle. So
I try. I'll see if I can do it this time. I know last time I disciplined myself. Um, it was just alkaline, but even the alkaline was challenging. But I
hmm
disciplined myself um to work out every day, and also no air conditioning.
Oh
So
wow.
I have to evaluate. I have to evaluate. I lost over 20 pounds, And I felt the healthiest I've felt in a really long, and that was just with alkaline. So I'm gonna see. I'm still going through and seeing what they want me to do. They may say all of it. You're gonna sun up to sundown. You're gonna work out every day. You're gonna, they're sometimes, they could be really hard on me, and that's okay because that means they want to give me maximum benefit too. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm still gonna ask and see what they want me to do. So we'll see. I might be able to get some AC. If I get some AC,
Hopefully you can.
we'll see. But
I'm praying for you.
you no, I want it to be hard. It should be hard. It needs to be a challenge. It needs to be a challenge. Pray that I'm challenged because that means I get the benefit. Yeah. Okay, what about Tiffany? Did you go?
I think my biggest challenge or hurdle would be myself and my negative self-talk. So I'll do something and then something will tell me I can't do it and then I'll believe it. Right. So just getting over that. So I'm excited for the challenge because I know I can do it.
Right.
And not gonna lie, I might need to pee a little extra next month than normal.
Right.
But yeah. But Tiana, I heard you say just now because priests can do it, something about your little struggle. I was gonna say don't minimize your struggle because struggle is struggle, and everyone has their own journey and own struggles. And
Mm-hmm.
what my grandpa, he used to say, if everyone in town gathered in the center of town and they threw their problems in the center of the town, if you saw your neighbor's problem, you would take your problem back, right?
Right.
So you don't, what is a struggle for you may not be a struggle for me, and what might be a struggle for me may not be a struggle for you, but it's yours, to conquer. So don't ever, minimize yourself or minimize like
Thank
your
you.
experience because it's meant for you.
Thank you.
That's good. All right, Mona, you there?
Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, I'm driving.
No worries.
So I wasn't on the screen when you was mentioning about the trap music, the artists. So I'm definitely going to minimum intake when it comes to
Mhm.
that kind of stimulation of music. And I've actually been doing really well
Mhm.
and listening to more, spiritual music from all different sorts of artists like Janae Aiko and some other artists that really have really good. And I know sometimes with her music could be a little more on a sexual at times, but I feel like just my toxic trait is when it comes to like those really sexualized music to not intake it so much in.
Mm.
I'm also glad that you mentioned in regards to when you're on the fast and you're in a relationship. I didn't know that your spouse could also intake on the fasting as well. So I'm glad that you mentioned that because I feel like he's been seeing a really a change within me because I've been on my spiritual journey for about I say about 2.5 years now. But I know he want
Mhm.
to ask a lot of questions and he's always asking like, is it only for ladies? And so with him inquiring about it, it makes me feel as if he's interested. So, and I'm also glad
Mhm.
that you mentioned earlier, how there's, males that could partake in the journey as well. And that that hit me to heart because I'm like, wow, I think this was meant to be for him. So I just want to thank you so much for elaborating on that aspect because October is actually our birth month. And I feel like this is really magical.
Nice.
And yes. And how I was telling you guys about my spiritual bath that I took on the 5th. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm so tapped into numerology. When I calculated the numbers together, I kid y'all not, it comes out to 10. And October is the 10th month. So I'm really looking forward to this fast and just what this journey has to offer for me and for my spouse as well.
Nice. I'm excited. Are you guys ready? October
Yes.
cannot come quick enough. So we have there's another group starting in 4 minutes. So I'm gonna have to end now. But for the week, we need to expand upon we went over the hurdles. We didn't touch on the manifestation, what we want to manifest in our lives. So I want you guys to go deeper into that, knowing the struggle and the discipline that you put in will be what you get out. Think about your life, your family, your business, the community that you serve as a practitioner, and think about the healing that needs to happen and what you want to manifest. And just go deeper into that. And we'll cover that next week, as well as go deeper into what we need to prepare. Okay. And start to, based on what you learned today, based on the information that you have, start to prepare yourself, whether that's eliminating the meat, the dairy, the bread, or whether that's starting to create a new music playlist, or starting to identify what stimulates you as a woman, and what gets you into that sexual mood, so that is it music? Is it a certain time of day? Is it when you eat certain types of food? Is it start to identify yourself, really start to know and understand yourself so that okay, I can't right now. So you know what to say I can't to. The worst thing you can do is be oblivious and not have the awareness. It's best to have the awareness. This is why when you get a reading from me, sometimes I have to give you difficult messages. Sometimes you need to know in this reincarnation, you have a propensity to be a liar, or you have a propensity to infidelity, or you have a propensity to this, or you have a really strong libido. I have to tell you those moral things because it's better to know and to be aware. That way you can identify it and shut it down or bring the harmony, right? And so you need to start to identify, this is going to be a challenge for me. And so this is what I'm going to do to eliminate or minimize this as a challenge. All right. And with that being said, everyone, I bid you farewell. Be well.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.